Welcome back. If you've just joined in, you are watching Namibia Connects on NBC One. Now, the Construction Industries Federation of Namibia, in collaboration with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, the Lüderitz Waterfront Development Company, the Lüderitz Town Council and FlyNamibia, will be hosting the CIF Infrastructure Development Forum, scheduled to take place from the 14th to the 16th of October 2025 at the Old Power Station Conference Center in Lüderitz. Now, to talk to us more about this, we are joined by Barbel Kirschner, the Chief Executive Officer of CIF Namibia. Barbel, good morning. Thank you so much that you could be with us on Namibia Connects.
Thank you so much. I'm speaking to Ivan. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure indeed. Now, the three-day event will feature more than 35 high-profile speakers and panelists from government, state-owned enterprises and private sector companies. What is the aim of the Infrastructure Development Forum, and what will the speakers share?
Thank you. Yes. So this three-day event in Lüderitz is really about sharing information about projects that are in the pipeline in the foreseeable future in Lüderitz and in the Karras region. And this would be, information about all the infrastructure developments that are due to take place in Lüderitz in support of, obviously, many of the bigger projects that are taking place in terms of oil and gas, as well as green hydrogen potentially, as well as, of course, the aquaculture developments as well. And in turn, we are inviting contractors as well as engineers, QSs and architects and suppliers to industry to attend the forum, the three-day event, so that they can prepare themselves in terms of their capacities, whether it's skills, plant or machinery, but really to become aware of what is in the pipeline within Lüderitz as well as, in the Karras region.
What can you tell us about the state of the construction industry in Namibia, and how can some of the major issues be addressed?
In terms of the industry as such, we obviously have gone through a very difficult time over many years, after nearly a decade of decline. But we can see now that there is a modest growth. Particularly, it started to improve in 2024. And now in 2025, we can anticipate that output will accelerate, with the Bank of Namibia projecting about 8.5% growth. I mean, the drivers of recovery are really mining, energy and housing projects alongside renewed public infrastructure spending by our government. But we do have challenges still in our industry. Obviously, the high cost of building material and finance. And because of years of retrenchments that we've had, we do have a shortage of skilled workers, and we are paying attention to that. And sadly, there's also still a delay in terms of payments, which does affect some of our contractors' payments by some government authorities. And what is also still an issue is that we don't have regulation in our industry. There's still an absence of regulation, and therefore allowing unqualified contractors to still get involved in the construction sector. And we still have a very large foreign dominance in our sector. But, there are major opportunities in terms of housing developments. The housing backlog, as we know, is huge. Namibia faces a shortfall of more than 300,000 units. This is a national crisis, as we know, but at the same time, it's a huge opportunity for the construction industry. And, with the oil, gas, and the green hydrogen projects, there's also major opportunity ahead because, the ports, developments of the ports are required, pipelines, housing, power plants, and really the logistic infrastructure that can really be a game changer for the sector, provided that we are prepared. So we obviously need to see that there, in terms of stabilizing our industry and further building our capacities, we need to have predictable and sustained government investment in infrastructure, but also procurement must be fair and transparent. And of course, I know that construction, that we have been speaking about the Construction Council for years, and that establishment of the Construction Council is very important. But I think the conference or the forum that we have in Lüderitz really comes at the right time, considering of all the developments in a very foreseeable future that are taking place in Lüderitz. I mean, we have a local industry in Lüderitz, but also a very large capacity in the rest of Namibia, and it's very important that our industry becomes aware of what is happening on the ground in Lüderitz, so that basically within the industry they can create potential partnerships in future and consider future subcontracting arrangements, maybe even joint ventures. But it's very, very important that people now become aware of what's happening on the ground there.
Now, can you tell us how many companies have collaborated for this very important event, and why is their collaboration important for the industry's future?
Well, first of all, we are running this event in collaboration with the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, who are our cooperation partner in this, and also with the support of the Lüderitz Waterfront Development Company and the Lüderitz Town Council, as well as FlyNamibia. And I mean, their support is very important, because that helps us also to create further awareness. And to have their backing, of course, helps us to reach, all stakeholders that, would be relevant for this event. But we also have the support of First National Bank, the Standard Bank, and Namibia Welding, Building and Civil Works, African Personnel Services, and I might add some more, Namport, Parallel Paints, Neo Paints, and then we have also Namport being involved as a sponsor, and Horongo Cement, Access Laboratory Services, NEC Energy, and NEC Water and Pumps, Winterkaya and Sales and Services, and Pupkewitz Megabuild. Now, their contributions, together with the collaboration of institutional partners, really demonstrate the strong commitments they have to advancing Namibia's construction sector. And of course, the more people are involved, the more institutional partners we have, the more resources we have to spread the word and to be able to offer a comprehensive program. I mean, we have speakers there from the airports, Namibian Airports Company, as well as Nampower. Then we have also an update on the green hydrogen project, also Hyphen Energy. And we would also have extensive information from the private sector. For example, Safland is developing a new shopping mall there. So they will tell us more about the project and the opportunities for the construction sector. At the same time, we will have, in terms of the aquaculture projects, there we will have Benguela Blue Aqua Farming presenting. We will have African Aquaculture Company presenting Kelp Blue, and really all the aquaculture projects that are currently in the pipeline will present to us, as well as the related opportunities for the construction sector, particularly in terms of onshore developments. And then on the last day of the program, there is an opportunity for SMEs to hear more about how to prepare themselves to become reliable subcontractors, as well as one would consider possible joint ventures. What are the implications of that? Is that possible in Namibia? And then also best practices in terms of procurement. We also have people from the Development Bank of Namibia that will discuss the support for SME development in the construction sector. And then, of course, we will have also from the Ministry of Education, also on the last day in the morning, talking about the vast opportunities in terms of facilities that are being built in that sector. So really, on the last day, many discussions are taking place with very experienced panelists to further build the capacities of our SMEs.
Now, speaking about discussions, the absence of regulatory body continues to haunt the industry. How is this affecting the industry, and will this be part of the discussions at the forum?
Thank you. I think that really remains important, that Namibia gets a construction council. We have lobbied for that since 2006, and you will find that these construction councils or regulatory bodies, most of our neighboring countries already have that. It's nothing new. And yes, it will be part of the discussions, but it won't be sort of the main feature of the forum. But it is really very important that we do get a construction council, because our industry is left exposed without oversight and regulation. I mean, you would have, in many sectors, you would have a council, but in construction we don't. I mean, practically anybody can become a contractor. And then, of course, then there are concerns about quality, delays, non-completion of projects. All of that can be avoided if the contractors are registered with the council and also categorized according to their capacities. And it's very important that one knows the capacities of the contractors so that one can align the size of project with the size of contractor. It will always remain part of our discussions, not just at the forum. I think it's very important that we get a council in place. I mean, at the moment, we still find foreign contractors dominate major projects, whether it is in terms of, pipelines that are being set, or road rehabilitation, or in fact, building construction as well. Essentially, we need to know what are the capacities of our local contractors. In some instances, we might even have to cut projects into smaller lots to ensure that our local industry is involved. And but we need to know where they are and what the capacities are, also to further develop the skills of the contractors and really to have a great oversight of the industry. And it is really important that we get the construction council as soon as possible. Yeah. So to answer your question, sorry, it's a bit long. I think it will remain part of our discussion in general, and we will not focus on it at the forum, because the purpose of the forum is really to focus on the projects in the pipeline, to understand what are the timelines and what the requirements are, so that our participants at the forum know how to capacitate themselves should they wish to take part of that.
Not to move away too much from the forum, now the CIF has since 2006 lobbied the government for the establishment of a construction council. What are some of the latest developments in that regard? The Construction Council, as we've just mentioned, we have been lobbying since 2006. The latest were, obviously, we have now a new government, and we have engaged with previous ministers
the last 15 years, and we were very close to having the bill for the establishment of a construction council tabled in Parliament last year. It had been submitted to the cabinet, who had approved that, and it has also been with the cabinet committee or legislative committee of the cabinet. But that's where it had stopped. So we need to revisit that so that again it will be approved by the current cabinet, as well as then be reviewed by the Committee of Legislation of the cabinet, and hopefully it will then be tabled in Parliament. That's what should happen, and our new minister, Honourable Vico Nkundi, is aware of it, very much aware of it, and we do hope that it will really find its way now to Parliament, because it's so incredibly important. Especially, we really need regulation now. Also, if you consider oil and gas, green hydrogen, these projects ahead, and a lot of opportunities now coming up. For that reason, regulation is now really important. It's always been important, but we cannot go into the future without regulation in our industry, because that would be huge damage to our industry, to our country, because you will still have unregulated contractors that might get involved, might get contractors, might not complete the projects, or run away from projects, or where the workmanship is not that great. So a construction council can prevent that, and it can also shorten the procurement process, which would be in the interest of everybody.